I'm on a mission to find the best off-meta teams, and I think I found something truly eruptive, and it involves Mega Camerput. So today, I'll go over the team, how it works, show you some games where I play it, and at the end, I'll share the replica code so you can try it for yourself. Okay, starting off with the star of the show, we have Camerupt. For the stat spread, we are running 32 in its HP stat, 32 in its special attack stat, 2 in special defense with a modest nature. This gives us a ton of bulk while also maximizing our ability to deal damage with the Camerupt. For the ability, we are running Rock Solid, which reduces the damage that he takes from super effective moves by 25%. That's if you ever don't Mega Evolve it before you attack with this Pokemon for whatever reason. Or if you go for a Protect play and they have something like Golurk and he goes, has Unseen Fist so that it goes through your Protect and you don't Mega Evolve, that will just reduce the damage that it does by an extra 25%. We're using Protect for setting up the Trick Room play and for baiting out our opponent's attacks. This is really good when you lead with Farigiraf and you want to set up Trick Room. Lava Plume gives us some spread damage. It does hit our own Pokemon, but we're running a lot of Protects and we have a very bulky lineup, so I'm happy to press it. If you don't feel comfortable damaging your own Pokemon, you could run Heat Wave instead in this slot, but you are going to include the chance to miss your attacks if you go for that option. Earth Power gives us some stab damage into Poison and anything that resists our fire type attacks. The only thing that we really don't have coverage for on this Pokemon is like Charizard or Talonflame, as they both are immune to the Earth Power and resist the Lava Plume and Eruption, and same goes for Rotom Wash. And we use Eruption as our last move. This just gives us insane turn 1 or turn 2 damage while we're still at full HP. This is one of the best moves on a especially offensive fire type Pokemon. You would have seen it on things like Torkoal in the past, and it's just as good on Camerupt. Next up in the team is Farigiraf. This is the linchpin of our team, allowing us to survive fake out turns and set up Trick Room through the ability Armor Tail. For the stat allocation, we are running 32 HP, 14 defense, 20 special defense with a calm nature. This is to give us as much bulk as possible so that we can try and survive possibly 2 attacks from our opponents while we set up the Trick Room play. It is holding a Citrus Berry and it is built pretty bulky, so we usually survive any non-super effective attacks. It's also pretty good because it sort of baits your opponents into targeting the Farigiraf slot to try and shut down Trick Room, which kind of allows you with the Camerupt to actually just press Eruption turn 1 as you're trying to set up Trick Room if you think your opponents are going to double target your Farigiraf. Foul Play is for some stab damage into Psychic and Ghost types. It's also really good into Belly Drum Pokemon as it uses their attack stat in the damage calculation. Trick Room obviously for setting up our whole entire combo. Sunny Day gives us the ability to shut down water type teams and also empowers our Camerupt even further if you can get this off. Psychic Noise is for dealing to Sneasler in a one hit as long as it doesn't have a focus sash. It's also good for Pokemon wanting to proc like a Citrus Berry or Leftovers consistently. This can shut them down, stop them from healing while you wipe them out. Now I just want to mention that Hyper Voice is also really great on Farigiraf, so you can give that a try if you want to. I would replace Foul Play with Hyper Voice if I was going to run that on this Pokemon. Next up is Primarina. Primarina is running 32 points in HP, 20 points in defense, 14 points in special defense with a bold nature. This is to make it as bulky as possible to basically it survives our Lava Plumes, and it will also help us to deal with the Garchomp. For the ability, we are running Liquid Voice. This turns our sound-based moves into water type moves, so our Hyper Voice becomes a water type move. It is holding the Leftovers item just to boost our sustain a little bit further, as Primarina is sort of coming in as a wall. And then Ice Beam gives us some coverage for dealing with the Garchomp, as we don't really have the best options to remove it outside of this. Moonblast helps us into Dark and Dragon types as well, so this is also a good option into the Garchomp. Protect allows us to stall for recovery and avoid damage from our Camerupt's Lava Plume if we don't want to take damage on any given turn. And he's back again. Incineroar just keeps finding his way into our teams, and I'm not even going to apologize for it because he's just too good. For the spread, we're running 10 in HP, 32 attack, 13 defense, and 11 special defense. Now this spread gives us a little bit of bulk while giving us a ton of damage, and you're sort of trading off your bulk for additional damage because I am playing this Incineroar as an offensive threat. Now, you could run an adamant nature on this thing if you just want a little bit more attack, but I wanted to survive a couple more attacks, so I've sort of gone halfway in the middle. For the item, he is running a Troppleberry that will allow us to survive the close combats from things like Sneasler and Sacred Swords from things like Gallade. Darkest Lariat ignores our opponent's stat boost and threatens ghost types. Flare Blitz does some pretty huge damage into steel and grass types, plus most opponents aren't really expecting the max attack Incineroar, so a lot of them just let you get it off most times. Fake Out is obviously for just applying pressure and frustrating our opponents and allowing us to make a turn a 2v1. And then Snarl is for dealing with our opposing special attackers like Charizard and Gardevoir by just dropping their special attack when we can. Next up, and probably one of the most unique picks on this team, is Wyrdeer. Wyrdeer is running 32 HP, 32 attack, and 2 in its defense stat, with an adamant nature boosting its attack stat even further. Wyrdeer is in here as a physically bulky tank that provides us with additional intimidate, because that's its ability, and also another Trick Room setter if we need it. For the Wyrdeer, we are running a mental herb, so it can't be locked out of the Trick Room the first time that it tries to set it up by something that wants to use Taunt. And honestly, this Pokemon isn't used that often, so most opponents won't expect the Trick Room setup from it. So generally you are free to go for it as long as they don't decide to attack it. Side Shield Bash will one-hit KO Sneasler, and it also gives us a defense boost every time we use it. We just need it to land. Protect allows us to stall out turns and avoid our Camerupt's Lava Plume, because that will deal huge damage to this Pokemon. Its special defense is very, very low. It does have a huge HP stat, but its special defense is so low that you don't want to get hit by that. And then Double Edge gives us some good stab damage. You could easily run Body Slam in this slot if you don't want to deal with the recoil from this move. Lastly, and another really unique pick on this team, is Hydrapple. It's a strong, specially offensive tank. It's using 32 HP, 2 defense, and 32 in its special attack stat, with a modest nature boosting its special attack even further. Now, I'm not sure exactly the best spread for this Pokemon, but it gives it 213 HP. So as long as you're not getting hit by something like an ice type move, it should generally survive. For that reason, we are also holding a Yachi Berry so that we don't get one-hit KO by things like Frostlass or Triple Axle. You could run like the Dragon type Reduction Berry as well, if you just want to win the matchup into Garchomp, which is rampant at the moment. We're using the Regenerator ability that gives us a heal on this Pokemon whenever we switch out, so if you can find a way to pivot this in and out, it can work really, really well to just allowing you to sustain for longer. Protect is for the same reason as all the other Pokemon. Fickle Beam gives us some stab damage into Dragon types, while also having a chance to deal increased damage. You could run Draco Meteor here if you want to utilize the Hydrapple as like a one pump wonder, or pair it up with a White Herb so that it can get that off, and then the White Herb procs and restores its special attack stat, but just know you do run a chance of missing in that situation. Earth Power gives us some extra special coverage into steel and poison types if we need it, and then Energy Ball just gives us some stab damage into water types. For the matchups, I found the most success overall leading Camerupt and Farigiraf. Most opponents tunnel vision into Farigiraf, so a lot of the time you can click Trick Room and use Eruption on the Camerupt if you're feeling brave. Otherwise, just protect and then set up a Trick Room. This strategy works really well into fast teams, but you do need to be careful into the Rain Cores, as they generally deal enough damage to one-hit KO the Farigiraf if both Pelipper and Archelodon double target it. This lead is also strong into the Sneasler comps, as you can protect the Camerupt and use Psychic Noise to one-hit KO the Sneasler. Alternatively, going for the original strategy also works well here. Into Garchomp cores, Primarina and Farigiraf works exceptionally well. We have enough bulk to survive and can work on getting Trick Room up while also throwing Ice Beam into the Garchomp slot. Into Trick Room teams, I like to lead with Hydrapple and Incineroar. Most Trick Room setters are weak to the Darkest Lariat play, so doubling in with Incineroar and Hydrapple can often get the KO. However, you can allow them to set up if you wish, as Camerupt will generally be the slowest thing under Trick Room outside of Pokemon with a negative speed stat. With that said, we are getting so close to hitting our 1000 subscriber goal. What this means for you is higher quality videos. So if that's something you would like, please subscribe and join our community. Enjoy the games, and future me will see you at the end. Fire off an Eruption, and hopefully we don't take too much damage early on from Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, so Floette Mega evolves, that's expected. Fairy Aura. We do resist fairy type moves with Camerupt. And we're betting on the fact that he is going to double into Farigiraf, expecting a Protect out of Camerupt here. So he goes for the Moonblast. We eat that up for dinner. And the Citrus Berry heals us a huge amount. Flash Cannon, does it survive that too? It does. And then we get an Eruption off. Bada boom. Deals absolutely massive damage. And we set up the Trick Room. And now we can spam Eruption. We can set up a Sunny Day. And we can just spam Eruption all day. I don't think either of those Pokemon get Wide Guard. He's going to double Protect, I believe, to stall out one of the turns. But that doesn't really help him, because I just got stronger. And now, knowing what he has in the back, I'm going to bring in my Primarina. I'm just going to launch another Eruption. Knowing that he has to either switch, or he just eats this and both of them go down and he might have Garchomp in the back. Primarina is just awesome if he does. Here's Pelipper. Okay, he brought the Pelipper. Camerupt will use Eruption. That'll deal huge damage still. And it was enough to pick up the KO. Thanks to the crit, actually. Sends in the Garchomp. So is he gonna double protect this turn? That's the question. And I will just go for another Eruption, even though it's not very effective. Maybe I just protect my Camerupt, actually. Oh no, he ate it. He ate it. And in comes the Hydrapple. Do we eat a Hurricane? We eat a Weather Ball. Not very effective at all, bucko. And we win. We outplayed him to the max there. Okay, what do we have? We have a Trick Room team with a Speed Core as well. The interesting thing here is if he leads with the Speed Core, he can go for double spread moves. And I mean, we're obviously a Trick Room team, so it is what it is. I think I definitely want to bring Incineroar in this matchup. He's pretty good into a lot of their Pokemon. And the last question is, like, Hydrapple resists the Earthquakes. Maybe I could lead Farigiraf and Hydrapple. I'm gonna bring Hydrapple though. I am gonna bring the Hydrapple. Because I think he probably just leads Tyranitar and Excadrill on this team. Knowing that we're Trick Room and knowing that he has to go for like a KO on me. He doesn't. So in that case, what we can do is we can set up Sunny Day. and protect the Camerupt. And see if he wants to set the Trick Room himself. Expanding Force. He does set the Trick Room up for us, which is pretty awesome. Now the Oranguru could be slower than us. So we are going to go for Foul Play into the Oranguru, and we are going to go for Eruption here, and hopefully we're slower. We do have only a 20 speed stat, so a minor speed nature would be beneficial for us here. Okay, we are the fastest thing on the field. That's going to be massive. And it one-hit KOs the Oranguru. And is Farigiraf slower than Reniculus? It is not. Expanding Force into that slot. Okay. Doesn't deal that much damage at all. Here's a Foul Play for you. Eat that one up. Eat that one up. Okay, I'm not really sure what this guy was thinking, because I wouldn't, if I was playing against the Trick Room team, I would not have set up Trick Room in that situation. Now what does he have in the back? What does he have in the back? Is he like thinking about where he's going to put them, or is he thinking about forfeiting? Is he trying to stall the game out for time now, trying to win on like the timer? He could do. It's early on in the game, so he could stall the timer at the match timer out now. But I don't think that's going to happen. He might have just turned his Nintendo Switch off. Sometimes they do that in Rage. They just turn their Switch off, and then we have to wait for the game to kick them. And if that is the case, that is the case. I mean, what are you going to do? It is the Tyranitar and the Excadrill in the back. Okay. So we are going to go for Foul Play into the Excadrill, and we are going to go for Lava Plume now. So he's got rid of the Sun. But unless he protects Excadrill, which is a possibility. I have so many ways in the back to deal to that Excadrill if he's still even playing the game. I have so many ways to deal with that thing. And I mean, I if he did just rage quit, I wouldn't blame him. But I honestly, I have almost zero clue why he would lead Trick Room Core, like Oranguru, Reniculus, and then have Excadrill and Tyranitar in the back. Like, it doesn't really make sense. Because like unless the Excadrill is like minus speed. There's a Rock Slide. It does hurt, but we eat a Citrus Berry. And now we do have an Earth Power coming into that slot. What are we communicating for here, guys? It's the end of the turn. I think that means he has disconnected. I mean, it's the last turn of the game, bro. You might as well just let me kill you. The last turn of the game. Okay, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Now look, I just want to say while we wait for this guy to deal with his being AFK, sometimes we've been getting some comments in the YouTube videos from you guys that are saying like, you know, you could do this more optimally, you could do this more optimally. I know. Here's the thing. I'm just playing for fun. And I want you guys to understand that you can play for fun too. Okay? And I build these teams not because they're going to like carry you through to champion rank, but because not everyone wants to play the same thing as everyone else. And obviously there's optimal teams that involve Sneasler, Incineroar, Charizard, Garchomp. Like that's a pretty good 4 core. Right? Like you could just play those 4 Pokemon and you'd have a very, very happy and probably successful time. So we did win. But just know guys that I am doing this because it's enjoyable for me. It's fun for me to make these off-meta teams. I do have a video coming out in the future that will showcase an actual good team that uses meta Pokemon. And it's story based, so that will be coming out in the future, so watch for that one. I won't be releasing that for a while. I'm still editing and doing all this. Is a real production quality video. The next one, sorry, not the next one, but the one that I'm talking about. So okay, going into the next match, we have another rain team. Wait, can we actually just cook him if I lead Incineroar and Hydrapple? Not really, because then if he leads the Blastoise, we're just cooked. I do have to lead... No, maybe not. He's got no way to stop a fake out. I think I might just go for that. What if I go Hydrapple and Wyrdeer? I think that's actually pretty good. And then I'll go Camerupt. And do I want to bring Farigiraf or Incineroar? Here's the thing, Farigiraf will like stop me from getting like Brave Birded. Ah, fuck it. Let's just go for the Incineroar. Let's just see what happens. He might be playing like a Perish Trap, so if he's playing Perish Trap, this is the way to go. It does look like Perish Trap with both Politoed and Gengar. I'm just gonna go into the Politoed slot, man, because if it is Perish Trap, it's just annoying to deal with. Oh my god. Mega Blastoise, so not Perish Trap at all. I've completely misjudged the situation here. It is Water Spout. Well, I completely misjudged the situation here, and I think we would have died even without a critical hit. And we get the Chi-Berry proc. I don't even think we KO. I don't think there's any way to win this one. Not with the Pokemon I brought. I mean, obviously the play is to use Fake Out into the Blastoise slot, but if I do that, it quite literally doesn't change anything for next turn. He just went for Water Spout again. Okay. Well, it's over this one, boys. We have been absolutely outplayed by ourselves here. By ourselves in this game. Alright, I'm going to wrap this up with a forfeit. I'll see you in the next game. And like I was saying, I'm not playing these teams to carry me all the way through. I'm just playing them for fun. And sometimes fun involves losing. Okay, let's go for another one. We look like we have got the Mega Hawlucha. With the Sableye. He's got no guard. Am I leading Farigiraf and Primarina here? Actually seems pretty good. And obviously I'm bringing Camerupt. Hydrapple does really well into the Garchomp, but so does Primarina if we can just keep it alive. But Hydrapple also does really well into the Basculegion. But Incineroar shuts his options down. I think I'm gonna go Hydrapple. We go Farigiraf, Primarina lead and see what I have to do from there. Okay, we're both rocking the basic loadout. Sableye and Hawlucha. Now, you know you can't fake out me or anything. Might do like dual wing beat. He might do foul play into this. I think the play is to just kill that, right? Now, Farigiraf will survive a foul play. It's got no stat investment. Let's go for a Moonblast into the Hawlucha. It's got no guard, so it's going to have like a really strong attack. But I think I should be able to survive 2 attacks here. If I can't, then I've just completely misread this situation entirely. Flying Press, that's going to hurt, yeah. Yeah, and we heal from the Citrus Berry. And that doesn't flinch us, does it? There's a Moonblast. And that KOs it. So now that's gone. Foul play, does this kill us? No. So we're in a perfect situation now. Brick Room goes up. Now we do know that Primarina is in fact faster than the Sableye, which means that the Sableye is now faster than us for using foul play. Basculegion comes to the party, and I think in this situation I am just bringing in the Hydrapple, and I'm gonna try and get the Sableye down to its Focus Sash. I'm probably getting hit with Last Respects here from Primarina. I'm not. So he was trying to KO the Farigiraf, which is beautiful for us, and we missed. That's always a good time. We love missing our attacks here on this channel. It's actually a hobby of mine to miss my own attacks. It's something I've just picked up in the last 30 seconds. Okay, goes for Disable, which is fine. We get the Energy Ball off. We one hit the Basculegion. And I think we just leave the... I think we just leave the Sableye alive now. There's the Garchomp. And we can Fickle Beam plus Ice Beam into that slot. Now he's got Taunt, Fake Out, Foul Play is his last move. Encore. We missed. Oh no, we didn't. We got the both. We got the boost. And it's just that easy. Foul Play does absolutely nothing. There's an Ice Beam. And we won. And he was on a 3 winning streak with that team, guys. So just know that this team can win, it can lose. When it wins hard. We didn't even have to use Camerupt that time. So give it a try if you haven't thought about it already. And future me will see you right about now. Thanks for watching. If you liked this one, you'll probably also like this team I made, which will be on screen now. I've also included the replica code on screen for you if you want to try this team for yourself. Give it a try. It's really, really fun. I know you'll enjoy it. Just try it. Just try it.